feel worse and worse. I really hate being hot at night. In this situation, something was wrong with me because I was wearing the undershirt and then both long sleeve, and until morning I didn't have any single feeling that indicated to me that I had such a bad feeling last night. So let me tell you a story how I defeated a fever in 5 hours, basically. I was sitting around minding my own business, just watching some YouTube videos regular day. As this happened a year ago, I can't really recall if I ate something bad that day, but I'd guess so that if was the case, I ate some cheese, some pasta probably. So I started feeling this cold feeling in my gut first. And this is not the first thing this has happened. Try to ignore this feeling of coldness, but I'm pretty right when it comes to these things. I basically always identified feeling before having a fever, that coldness, something weird happening in your stomach. I don't measure my body temperature when I'm feeling sick because I don't really see a point. I don't really want to know if the number is a little higher than usual because it's just going to create panic and stress, and I don't need that. I can just recover on my own without even knowing if I have fever or not. I've had similar sick feelings in my gut in the past. Last time it has happened, my mother made me a juice made of carrots and beets. Crazy vitamins, and it actually helped me defeat the fever before it even happened. It's not actually the fever, but that sick gut feeling, if you know what I'm talking about. Now let's turn back to the initial story. Time just passes and I feel worse and worse. My bedtime was usually 10 p.m, but I was really wanting to go to sleep at 7 p.m, 3 hours before my regular bedtime. I don't want to wake up at 4 a.m. I'll just push myself to at least 9 p.m, somewhat close to my bedtime, and then fall asleep because I would wake up at 3 a.m, 4 a.m, fully refreshed, and then what would I do? Those entrepreneur 4 a.m. routines, what would I do? I really tried to push myself to sleep later. I could just only hold on to until 8:15. I couldn't bear it anymore. Now, if you know me in real life, I really handle cold environments better than hot environments, especially at night. I really hate being hot at night, and I usually just lay down in a slim shirt or even an undershirt. In this situation, something was wrong with me because I was wearing the undershirt and then both long sleeve upper and bottoms. And apart from all of these, I used a thick wool blanket. Well, even the night before, I was just using the regular tiny blanket. So this will come to the important point. When my parents were young, the general consensus was that you should warm yourself if you have a fever. Cover yourself with lots of blankets, which is basically a natural instinct. You're really cold when you have a fever. However, as time has passed and new research popped out, doctors decided that it's completely opposite from what you should do. That you should shower with cold water, put alcohol on your body to take down your core body temperature and bring the fever out. This is actually how I was raised. You know how cold it feels just being without a shirt. Now imagine somebody putting cold water on you. That's legal torture, man. I put that warm wool blanket over me and I still felt a little cold, so I lay down 8:30. I wake up 11 p.m. fully drenched in sweat, so hot I couldn't even bear one more moment being below that wool blanket. I immediately get up and take my long sleeves off. Unbelievable. I didn't feel sick at all. I just wanted to take everything off, take my regular blanket and just sleep with an undershirt. And until morning, I didn't have any single feeling that indicated to me that I had such a bad feeling last night. I completely went against the general consensus of medical experts, but I have somewhat of a good explanation for this. Your body works with the outside temperature to determine your core body temperature, but not in the way that you think. Higher outside temperature doesn't mean that you'll have higher core body temperature. It's gonna lower it. Your body is going to compensate for the higher outside temperature with a lower core body temperature. So if my fever resulted in higher core body temperature, warming myself up didn't actually increase the core body temperature, but instead lower it down, meaning I was brought to the original state before the fever. Now we can debate if lowering your core body temperature during a fever is actually good, because the point of a fever and raised core body temperature is to allow your body to focus more on defeating what is attacking your system. Lowering your core body temperature is actually helping the sickness, because you're killing your body's defense mechanism. There is another hypothesis which makes even more sense. The changes to your core body temperature using the outside influences relate to short-term. Short cold influence will result in your higher body temperature, but on the other hand, for longer periods of time, if I leave you on Antarctica without any clothes, you'll die because of low body temperature because your body will not be able to balance between the outside and the core body temperature for that long. So much philosophy here, but what I've done here in this situation is basically warm myself up for 3 hours, which means my core body temperature probably went down, but then it went up even more than before. I just helped my body reach higher levels of core body temperature than it would naturally do, meaning it would defeat the sickness in much less time than without my interference. Gut health plus raising your core body temperature for the long run will end the fever faster. You can take drugs, you can do whatever you want, but if you're like me and people from my tribe, we like to try natural things first. Why wouldn't we? There are no side effects. So then you give your body the right fuel, vitamins through vegetables, higher body temperature to battle the sickness. Regular people just like to continue their shitty diet and then just take the drug in order to compensate, but we'll see who'll function for longer. Am I right?